That $8 box of cleaning erasers is not filled with a secret chemical. The cleaning power is built into the foam itself. The white block in your hand is mainly melamine resin foam, a material that can be sold under a famous cleaning brand, packaged as a store brand eraser or cut into plain rectangular sponges and shipped in bulk. The label changes. The basic cleaning mechanism does not. What the front of the box does not tell you is that a small branded package can cost several dollars, while a bulk pack can bring the price down to roughly 13 or 14 cents per sponge. But there is a catch. The same structure that removes marks so easily can also remove shine, paint, and protective coatings. So before you replace every cleaning sponge in your cabinet, you need to understand what this foam is actually doing to the surface. This story does not start in a cleaning aisle. It starts inside a block of melamine resin foam. Under a microscope, ordinary kitchen sponge foam looks soft and rounded. Melamine foam is different. It has an open network of extremely fine, rigid strands. The finished block still feels light and compressible because most of it is air, but the tiny structure itself is hard. That combination is the trick. A flexible block lets the foam follow the shape of a wall, tile, shoe sole, or plastic object. At the same time, the hard microscopic structure scrapes at dirt with thousands of tiny contact points. BASF, which sells melamine foam under the Basotect name, describes the material as working like very soft sandpaper. That is a much better mental image than magic. When you wet the sponge, the water does not activate a mysterious stain-eating ingredient in a plain foam eraser. Water mainly helps the foam glide, reduces drag, and carries away loosened grime. As you rub, the tiny abrasive structure breaks the bond between the mark and the surface. The open cells also collect some of the loosened material. That is why a melamine sponge can remove black scuffs, crayon, shoe marks, soap residue, and grime, even when you have not sprayed a traditional cleaner. It is cleaning by controlled abrasion. You can see the process happening because the sponge gradually disappears. It pills, tears, and shrinks as you use it. Much like a pencil eraser, the foam is sacrificing itself while it wears away the material sitting on the surface. But here is the detail shoppers miss when they see the stain disappear. The foam cannot tell the difference between unwanted material and a delicate finish. A plain melamine sponge is not dissolving dirt the way a detergent dissolves grease. It is physically rubbing material away. Sometimes that material is the stain. Sometimes it is part of the finish underneath the stain. Pay attention to the next numbers, because they explain why bulk melamine foam keeps showing up as a money-saving cleaning hack. Recent United States retail listings showed a 6-count package of branded magic erasers selling for anywhere from about $5.60 to $9.99, depending on the version and retailer. That works out to roughly 93 cents to $1.67 per eraser. Bulk melamine foam listings showed 100 plain sponges for about $12.99 to $14.44. That is roughly 13 to 14 cents each. Even using the cheaper branded example, the bulk sponge can cost around 86% less per piece. Against the higher branded listing, the difference can exceed 90%. Think about that for a second. The price of 6 branded erasers can sometimes buy dozens of plain melamine sponges. The box is doing a lot of expensive work there. That does not mean every bulk sponge is identical. Density, thickness, dimensions, and durability vary. A cheap foam block may collapse faster, tear sooner, or arrive smaller than the product photo suggests. Branded extra durable versions may use a denser structure, a different shape, or reinforcement that helps them survive longer. Some specialty erasers also contain added cleanser, fragrance, or dye, so the honest claim is not that every white foam block is a perfect clone. The honest claim is that the core cleaning material in the plain versions is melamine resin foam, and generic bulk foam can perform the same basic abrasive cleaning job for far less money. That is the detail the packaging rarely makes obvious. The smartest approach is to compare cost per usable cleaning job, not just cost per sponge. If a branded pad lasts 4 times longer but costs 10 times more, the bulk foam still wins. If the cheapest bulk pad falls apart after one swipe, the deal is not as impressive. Buy a small bulk pack first. Check the dimensions. Test the density. Then decide whether a 100 pack actually makes sense for your home. If this kind of consumer breakdown saves you money, subscribe. This channel looks past the packaging and explains what the product is actually doing. While all of this is happening in the shopping cart, the more important decision is waiting at home. Which surfaces can safely handle a microscopic abrasive? Melamine foam is best treated as a specialty spot cleaning tool for hard, durable, non-glossy surfaces. Good candidates often include white vinyl baseboards, glazed ceramic tile, grout lines, uncoated hard plastic, rubber shoe soles, plastic patio furniture, and stubborn marks on durable bathroom surfaces. It can also work on certain painted walls, but that is where people get into trouble. Paint is not one universal surface. Flat white wall paint, satin paint, dark paint, washable paint, old paint, and fresh paint can react very differently. A few light passes may remove a scuff from one wall. The same pressure may leave a pale, shiny, or dull patch on another. The test area is not optional. Use a hidden corner first, let it dry, and inspect it from different angles. Wet surfaces can hide damage that becomes obvious only after the water evaporates, and use less pressure than you think you need. The foam is already abrasive. Pressing harder does not make it smarter. It simply increases the chance that you remove the finish along with the mark. And this is the part where a cheap cleaning hack can stop being funny. One wrong surface can turn a few cents of foam into an expensive repair. Mr. Clean's own usage guidance warns against high-gloss, polished, dark, brushed satin, faux, bare or polished wood, copper, stainless steel appliances, non-stick coatings, and vehicle bodies. That list is not random. Those are surfaces where a fine abrasive can change the appearance, scratch a finish, or remove a protective layer. Glossy paint can turn matte. Matte paint can develop a shiny, burnished patch. Stainless steel can show uneven scratch patterns. A clear-coated car panel can lose its gloss. A non-stick pan can lose part of the coating that makes it non-stick. A small clean spot is not a win if the surrounding surface now looks different. Coated glass needs caution too. Plain glass may tolerate gentle cleaning, but tinted, anti-reflective, treated, or coated glass can be damaged. The same rule applies to screens, acrylic panels, eyeglasses, and appliance displays. A product that feels soft in your hand can still behave like fine sandpaper at the microscopic level. And never use melamine foam on skin. It can cause abrasions. This sounds obvious until you remember that people have used these sponges to remove ink, hair dye, self-tanner, or paint from their hands. Use soap, oil, or a skin-safe remover instead. Do not combine the sponge with chlorine bleach or random household cleaners. Plain water is usually enough for the foam's mechanical action. If you use it on a food contact surface, follow the product guidance and rinse the surface thoroughly afterward. There is also one more distinction that saves confusion. Melamine foam is excellent at certain marks, but it is not a disinfectant. It can make a surface look clean by removing visible grime. That does not automatically mean it has killed bacteria or viruses. If disinfection is required, clean the surface first, then use a suitable disinfectant according to its label and required contact time. So what should you actually buy? Search for plain melamine foam sponges or melamine cleaning sponges. Avoid assuming that the words nano sponge mean a special technology. In many listings, that is simply marketing language for the same foam category. Check the dimensions because some bulk blocks are noticeably smaller than branded erasers. Look for density or extra thick descriptions, but treat those claims cautiously unless reviews confirm them. Start with 20 or 50 pieces rather than a giant carton if you have never tried that seller. When the package arrives, cut one sponge into smaller pieces. A full block is often unnecessary for a single shoe scuff or a mark near a light switch. Smaller pieces give you more control, reduce waste, and make the bulk pack last even longer. Wet the piece completely, squeeze out the excess water, and use light pressure. Work in a small area. Stop as soon as the mark is gone. Then wipe the surface with a clean, damp cloth to remove residue and inspect the result after it dries. This decision seemed small at the time. It is not. The difference between a good cleaning hack and a damaged finish is usually pressure, surface type, and knowing when to stop. The best uses are the jobs where the stain sits on top of a tough surface. The worst uses are the jobs where the appearance depends on a delicate coating, a polished sheen, or a thin layer of paint. That is the entire secret. The famous eraser is not powered by invisible magic. Its main advantage comes from a microscopic abrasive structure built into Melamine resin foam. Bulk versions can deliver the same basic cleaning action for a fraction of the price, although quality and durability can vary. Buy the foam, not the story printed on the box. Use it where abrasion is helpful. Keep it away from surfaces where abrasion is damage. That $8 box looks very different once you realize the magic was in the material all along.